see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, "Tomorrow is just a whisper away."
Ah yes, their famous motto. A fine example of technological optimism from...
You see, a once bright, a slogan used to a metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone, unless you're out of change. You hear the tone. The machine is inoperable. Calling. Still calling. This feels wrong. Should you be doing this? End of tone. Someone picks up.
Pierre, is that you, Pierre? Do you have any news about Pierre? He's my sister's grandson. He used to visit me as a lad. Fine young man. But who are you then? A salesman of some sort? Modern goods are rubbish, and I can't afford them anyhow. It's a shame what you did to our country. This is because we are bred to be leaders. I can hear the common or mixed background from your voice. I just so wanted it to be Pierre. Have a pleasant evening.
Disconnect tone. Calling. Still someone with a masculine voice.
Hello, Gerard speaking.
Hello, Gerard. Technically speaking, you're electricity.
No, but I got a feeling Al Kick Your Ass is gonna make an appearance if you ever call this number again. Have a good one, asshole.
Phone hanging up. Disconnect tone. Calling. 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 Still calling. Still calling.
Stop calling me, man. I'll get you your money, alright? I just need till tonight. Let me work.
The phone gets hanged up fast as lightning. Or disconnect tone. Calling.
I'm tired.
Sounds like he hasn't talked to anyone in quite a while.
Writing. I hate writing so much. But I have to get back to it.
The man disappears with a sigh. You do not hear the customary disconnect tone. Just seems like it did not have time to swallow the coin. This sometimes happens. Lucky you, the call went too fast for the payphone to register. You can still make a new one without paying. You close your eyes and put your index finger on the rotary dial, then pull down on the number, then move one up. Strange. This is not how you started before. You dialed 001. This is not the area code of Revachol. 4144 647. The rotary dial feels cold from the sea air. 1117361. Your fingers keep moving like a spider. Every time the ring rotates back with a little ring of metal, like a bell tolling. Yes, 451-67451. You are going deeper now, into some unknown place. 451. You have dialed God knows how many numbers. The headset has been waiting silently to relay a signal. Surely nothing can come of this, you think. But it does. A connection. An ultra-long distance call. Your ear fills with a crackle. The wash of a strange ocean full of white noise. A little bird starts ringing in there. Not like the local calling tone before. No, a small ring in a cage of distortion. Far away, calling in the night. Pitiful and terrifying. You feel your pulse rise with each ring. Calling still. The handset starts slipping from your sweaty palm. Your breathing is heavy. Callings. Then the ocean breaks. Out of the depths, a woman's voice emerges. Small. The dearest thing you've ever heard.
Hello? Who is this? What? Oh no. Is that you?
This is too much. You need to recede.
Oh no, not this. What time is it? Dora, who is this? The connection is bad.
Dora. The name feels like a gift. A gift that was meant for you. To make it possible to live. And fight. In the distorted distance, you hear someone turning next to her. No answer. You're not sure, but you think you hear a man's voice in the background.
No. It's you, isn't it? It's you. You're not a revolutionary, Harry. You're drunk.
You only have 2, maybe 3 things left to say before the change runs out.
Because it's me. Look, I don't understand what you're saying or why you're calling me. You seem drunk. Oh, God. Do you know what time it is? It's so late here. It's 4 o'clock, Harry. I need to wake up in 2 hours. What do you want to talk about that we haven't talked about already?
This is bad. You feel your right hand on the handset cramping up with pain.
I'm in Morova, sleeping. To work. The academy, where I work.
No response, only a sigh. The connection crackles like burning paper.
Oh no, please stop. Please, let's just hang up. Yes,
She does not answer anymore.
Harry.
Disconnect tone. The machine ran out of money. You dial the number again. 26 pulls in the middle of it. Calling, 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 calling. It looks like she doesn't want to pick it up, Harry. Stop scaring her. Come on, you know why. Calling, calling.
Harry, please.
Underneath it, she is naked and warm under a blanket.
Please. I'm going to hang up now, okay?
Phone hanging up. Disconnect tone. You dial the number again. Calling, 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 and calling for who knows how long. The cold metal takes your mind away from that voice, for 1 second at least. It didn't give you any. Your hand is sweating. Anti-object task force. Behold, the anti-object task force has assembled. God's avenging angel, arrayed against the lower emanations of the darkened one. Shoe racks, tape recorders, motor carriages, and doors. So many doors. You're not just pounding it all to pieces. You're reforging the universe, from the anvil of the heavens to the worms below. Indulge in it. Be These are some wonderfully regular pants. Not too tight, not too loose, moderate in every sense. You'll blend right in at some pleasant dinner party. I know you do. These inter-Isolari pants are like wearing a perfect compromise in your nether regions. You're a little more moralist now, buddy. A little more normal, even if you didn't want to be. A familiar apparatus, the reeds bend forlornly toward the sand. Some tufts have been crushed. Snow covers the broken stalks like the constant, distant song. Louder on this part of the coast, nearer somehow. And there's that cold again. Always the cold. This trap is also full of panicked locusts. No sign of any cryptozoa. Man, it's lonely doing this alone.
Every snowflake is like a little gift from the sky.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Hyundai somewhere. This is entirely, completely you. You have found...
Oh, Man from Hyundai. A very popular series of adventure novels. They're awfully immoral and violent books. Blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound to grab those with little imagination and nothing to do. What does it matter? They're all the same. However, the customer is always right, they say. If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Hyundalaman, the Man from Hyundal. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series.
Rows and rows of Hyundalamen blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Hyundal and the Mammoth Riders. Man from maybe 100. Man from Hyundal and the Sages at the End of the World. Man from Hyundal and the False God. Man from Hyundal. Those snow crabs are worse than they sound. Not even close. Man from Hyundal in Hell. Man from Hyundal and the Forest of Slaves. Man from Hyundal under the lake. Man from Hyundal, Hyundal burning. There's even the tribe.
Oh yes, certainly. Another good sale.
Nothing of interest. Only silence and the cosmic background.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome. A book about cockatoos? There should be one upstairs, right next to the shelf of biographies.
A sulfur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover, its beak slightly open. It looks as if the bird is calling out the book title. Turns out that there are so many different cockatoo species, and they all have behavioral problems.
It's a must-have if you own a cockatoo. I've heard they're quite capricious. Oh, a nature enthusiast. Good choice.
A cockatoo is a parrot with an erectile crest, found on the Seminine Islands and in southern Fas a la Mer. Known for their intelligence and general precociousness, cockatoos are popular birds in aviculture. However, they often exhibit This book talks about the delicate nature of twos, as well as introducing some of the most popular species among the bird enthusiasts. The funeral cockatoo, the major where to even begin? All cockatoos are known for their needy natures, requiring attention for at least 2 full hours a day. They love to talk and have been described as lovable clowns who just don't know how. Pet owners also report moodiness, loudness, and hostility as recurring issues. If left unsatisfied, cockatoos may scream non-stop, pluck their feathers, or become. It is not recommended to get a cockatoo if you're not able to cook them food every day and give them the full care that they need. These birds will never understand that you have a life of your own. You're right. Cockatoos are magnificent creatures. They love to perform, cuddle and show off, and will even scream for fun, often as loud as up to 135 decibels. Ouch, that must hurt. Not great for the neighbors. Performing? Yes, birdie. This is a yellow-tailed black cockatoo. Its specific name, Psittacus venereus, relates to its dark and somber plumage. This bird looks as if dressed for a funeral, 24/7. There is something Perhaps the most impressive of all the species, the endangered major majestic cockatoo, is often described as the most flamboyant bird in the jungle. Its pink-colored wings and flowing crest embellishing its proud and bumptious nature. In the words of poet-explorer Sir James Fournier, few birds more enliven the monotonous hues of the verdant forest than this big, bold, and beautiful species. It must be glorious to behold, dark pink and snow white. Despite its banging name, the bang-bang cockatoo is actually the shyest of the species, common in almost all Seminoese forests, as well as zoos and homes all over the world. Its plumage is mainly grey and white. Yes, but all those cockatoo species are so different. Which one are you? You're right. You're Psittacus venereus embodied. This ominous bird belongs on your heraldry. The cover of this tattered paperback features the man from Yeomdar, standing atop a pile of bloody corpses. His 2 Zweihanders are crossed over his massive chest in a dramatic X. Behind him rise the harsh, snow-capped peaks of his native Northlands. In bold red letters, the title, Heomdallar Man, the man from Heomdal, unfurls like a banner. In the foreground, a nearly nude woman lies spread in supplication, her privates strategically covered by her flowing black hair. These images speak to something burbling deep within you. Quick, find someone or something that needs to be gutted, beheaded, impaled on a spike. The back blurb reads, his latest adventure serves as the perfect introduction to the savage Heimdall saga. Meet man from Heimdall, his faithful blood brother Tyribald, the noble Lord Hrothgar, and some of their most fearsome foes yet for the Northlands. For Heimdall. Below, in smaller font, you see the parenthetical, adapted from Man from Eildal and the Necromancer's Treasure. Man from Eildal, Lord of Hrothgar, and Man from Eildal, the Curse of Nakthera. A brazen attempt to bilk fans for more money by splicing together old stories under a new title. Their main concern is the continuation of the franchise, not making literary history. The story opens in media res. The man from Heimdall and his band of northern reavers are in the bowels of an ancient temple, surrounded by an army of gibbering wights, led by the deathless necromancer. One by one, the brave Northmen fall to the relentless crush of undead. By nightfall, only the man from Heimdall and his blood brother, noble Tyribald, are left standing against the dead horde. It is an honor to die by your side, brother, Tyribald cries, as his battle axe beheads one of their reanimated comrades. 9, Tyribald, the man from Heimdall, bellows over the army of flesh and bone. Have courage for the Northlands. For Heimdall. He leaps to the mezzanine to face the writer has never held a sword in their life, let alone it is physically impossible for a human being to effectively dual-wield Zweihander swords in any kind of real-life combat situation. And with deadly finesse, his twin blades scissor the necromancer's head from its body. The undead legions collapse like ragdolls as the dark magic leaves them, and the two Northmen stand alone in their cursed temple, where the bodies of their lost brothers litter the floors. A few chapters later, the man from Heimdall and Tyribald are in a completely different setting, high above an arid desert, riding a pair of griffins that always seem to appear at narratively convenient. This book makes a mockery of the very idea of good plotting, though something tells you coherence was never the point. The Northmen find themselves in the court of a powerful southern king, Lord Hrothgar. The old king beseeches the man from Heimdall to rid his kingdom of the man from Heimdall extracts a high price from the desperate king. He asks land for the homeless desert pygmies living exiled in the kingdom's borderlands. Hrothgar offers the hand of his eldest daughter instead. But what do you mean? Because the flame of justice burns bright within his chest. Because, above all, he's driven to bring honor to the name of his beloved Heimdall. Because his noble Cutland blood lusts for glory and conquest. It cannot be denied. What do you mean, is that all? He is the man from Heimdall, forged in the fury of battle. Death was his sire, and blood his dam. He had but 14 winters when he left his frigid homelands in Cutla to seek glory and honor. That is his character. He doesn't even have a real name. What is inside this man? Or is muscle and bone all he is? Hey, nothing wrong with muscle and bone. The point is, why should you care about this character? Does he have any inner conflicts? Unspoken motivation? A tragic flaw, perhaps? He is the wildest man alive. The only mortal strong enough to wield the twin Zweihanders, Sturm and Drang, whose names mean storm. What are you, a book critic? Enough. You're ruining the pacing of the story. What pacing? You skip past a section detailing an elaborate banquet with many toasts, as well as the long and perilous journey. In the center of the Great Hall stands a blood altar on which a pair of Nakthera are disemboweling a shrieking peasant. An unholy rite that empowers the Nectera. As the vile ceremony ends, the sound of steel unsheathing draws the Nectera's attention to a pair of cloaked figures stacked. This is what you came for, isn't it? A climatic bloodletting where men are reduced to muscle and fury. Swiftly, the visitors toss off their cloaks and unsheathe glimmering northern steel. It's the man from Heimdall and his valiant blood brother, Tyribald. In an instant, the Nectera summon a horde of gibbering orcanoids who rush our heroes. The hall fills with the clang of blades and the screams of the dying as the floor goes slick with steaming orcanoid viscera. Oh, for fuck's sake. When the din of battle settles, only the man from Heimdall and Tyribald remain standing. Exhausted and dripping with the entrails of their foes, the two Northmen confront the foul Nectera. The man from Heimdall's soda-like. What? In the first scene, the man from Heimdall fought a powerful necromancer and his army of the dead. Now he's confronting a pair of Nectera. An excellent question. One easily answered by purchasing the next thrilling chapter in the Heimdallaman saga, Heimdallaman at the Gates of Tomorrow. The last page of this one merely reads, considering the sheer amount of different Heimdallaman books out there, it's the man from Heimdall stares at you on the cover, his face fixed. Tremble. The time is now. Ta'ola. Time for the show. For Ta'ola. The hallowed time of fear and disintegration. A countdown has begun. All will collapse on itself. The world will disappear into a single grain of blackness. All sound will be muted. Ulogu Theodos, Xeno Zausin, Ipoli Osithian, Echondes Fronisin. Monday morning, the moment you arrived in this reality, are the first crack in the sheer face of God. From you it will spread. Yes, you spoke the words of the Palindropos and the houses of Pericarnassus. Items, people, even words will tumble. All will lose its meaning in the coming years. That is why you marked yourself. It's totally also a coping mechanism. So you should be. The world island crumbles at your feet, and in the far plain, Palindropos. Perhaps, just a thought, this has something to do with the hangover. The face of the woman fractures. There will be herd killing. We all become. The display. This is entirely complete. The display rack. This is entirely, completely you. A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts. Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular man from Hjelmdal, in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase. She's laughing at him. Between the throne and the Hjelmdaler man lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The type, especially those leering types, who seem to wear nothing but an armored bikini. There's also some sort of a snake lizard beast. It's symbolic of vice and sin. The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Hjelmdal novels.
It is a bestseller for a reason.
Have you come to make your offering to Kuno? Kuno doesn't fucking read. Fucking book shit. Fucks with your mind. Kuno knows this four-eyed fuck. Totally hooked on the book. Can't get enough of this shit. Fucking sad.
Who are you talking about?
A guy Kuno knows. Martin. From out of town. From Grad or some shit.
This boy of 12 does not know anyone from Grad, sire. We suspect the boy himself might be this mystery Martin.
The fuck do you know what Kuno wants or knows, huh? Shove that buck hook in. Have you come to make your offer? Kuno knows this.
Who are you talking?
A guy Kuno.
This boy of 12 does not know anyone.
Fine. Kuno's gonna take it off your fat ass. At least he's gonna make some paper off this shit. Now what you want? So? Yeah, so? Kuno did sick the pigs on him. Kuno's a man of his word.
Kuno sent your fat ass running.
Look, pig. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on. You got fucked. You got fucked, pig. Fucked bad. Of course you're gonna remember this. Now get the fuck out of here, griefing the Kuno. After this shit, you better have something real interesting to say if you want to stay in Kuno's face.
Yeah, real interesting.
It's not Kuno. It's Kuno S. Kuno S is by far the worst of the two. Kuno has no problem being near you, but the other hides behind the fence, afraid for her life, like she's done something very bad. She came up with that psychopathic scheme of screaming for help before. Kuno just wanted to talk to you about his name. Kuno S was the one who wound him up and directed it. Also, Kuno hasn't stopped talking to you, even enjoys it from time to time. When you talk to the other one, it's like all in all, Kuno respects madness. You cannot hope to
Fuck you whispering about?
He's whispering too. He's going with it, but watch what happens.
Fuck you whispering about.
If Kuno wants to whisper, he's gonna fucking whisper, okay? Let's whisper, pig.
This is it. You've got him. But be careful. You can still fuck this up. Don't make Kuno look bad in this.
She's not fucked up. Everyone's fucked up.
Wrong move. But he's whispering still. You haven't lost him. Just don't mess up again. Or you will. There are no guarantees here.
It's okay. The pig's trying to pit us against each other. Not gonna let him do that.
Idiot. You bungled it up. That's it. You let him off the line. That was a bad minute.
Try to fuck my Kuno. Try to fuck my Kuno away. Me and Kuno are tight. We ride for life.
A chill comes over you, the wind from the boulevard south, lashing you for trying to separate them, for trying to take the street out of Kuno. What's going on is an ungovernable youth on your crime scene, throwing around incendiary language, trying to push your buttons.
Trying to fuck at the Kuno. Trying to fuck at me. Trying to fuck. Kuno only gets higher. It's faster, fast.
Kuno gonna fuck you up. Up, up, up.
Normal is not what we got here. You've got to work with what you have for now.
Kuno doesn't fuck.
The display. This is entirely, completely you. You have found the right books.
It is a bestseller for a reason.
The edges of the pages are worn and smudged. A lot of people have read about the Devil Woman's altercations with the Hjelmdal man. The jacket copy proclaims, "Man from Hjelmdal returns in his most exciting adventure yet. After crashing into a strange jungle, cannibalistic natives, he is ambushed by a tribe of female warriors and taken to the ancient citadel of Cloud City, where a mysterious and wicked queen rules supreme. You open the book to a random page. Man from Hjelmdal, wielding his two Zweihanders, is carving through a sea of savages. His arms, whirling like windmills, are soaked with the blood of... You flip to the copyright page. This book was written in 38. Berserker rage burns in his azure-hued eyes as he brings glory and honor to his long-lost Hjelmdala tribe. From the village of Hjelmdal, the ivory giant roars like an ice. The edges of the pages are worn and smudged. A lot of people have read about.
Gendarmerie, you found me.
His slender figure is backlit by city lights, its distant streets and motorways flashing like... And his shirt is still unbuttoned.
It was mine. My friends use it from time to time to visit me. So tell me, are you here to make things right again? Beautiful. I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting. Trust me, you do. That's why I chose this place. Martinez is special, isn't it? That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's get downstairs. A cat crosses the yard, disappearing into...
Besides, I've got to run.
He's going to leave you alone again. That's...
To the city. It's a beautiful night.
A man on high heels stumbles out of a basement club, music blasting over the entire district. It's chilly, and as the chemicals hit his...
We'll talk. Just not tonight. Take care, all right?
And he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia. My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from Sur-la-Clé. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
Hanging? What a drag. He seems like a cultured gentleman. You should ask him about the finer things.
Oh, we got it from an atelier in the East Delta Commerce Center. Personally, that's really all I can tell you about it. I'm sorry to say I did, officer. Because I did it? Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
He holds out his hands and blossoms his fingers, like a drama teacher setting the scene.
No, no. I mean, it was so strange. I could barely believe what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead. That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this. I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinez. Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities. I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8?
Sound familiar? That matches the prints you observed at the scene.
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human. I went back inside.
Yes, back inside. Keep yourself safe from the killing.
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man. All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly. I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent. Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching. Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything. You're right, of course. That is what one is supposed to do in such circumstances. I was simply in shock. I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add. All I can say is that it was late. No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day. I'm sorry I couldn't be of more assistance. The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight. Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here. Yes, as I said before, I'm a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stability. La Communauté Internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution. It is the most important thing. It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment, which is essential for maintaining the social stability. Take your daily bread, par exemple. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation just below 2%. But not too far below, no. Too below is also bad. The coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet? A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the moral intern. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the Moral Interns. It's the international organization for moralists. Hence, Moralist International. The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind-bending. But of course. Because moralists believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values. The Occident is part of the normal world. Oranje, sur la clé. Martinez? No. Martinez is something else. Revachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, which means... But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking. Ah, my friend. But the lesson of the revolution is that communism does not work. Ah, yes, the unattainable ideal. Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. Was there anything else? What's there to say? Sur la Clé is a modern, urbanized country that measures very high on the human development. Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries. Revachol is only one of its many darlings whose progress it supports and cherishes. Because a great percentage of Revachol's culture hails from Sur la Clé. Its language, its people, its cuisine even. Or at least in the downtown La Delta.
Jamrock and other parts of the international zone have been mercifully spared of Sur la Clé's love for meatballs and mashed potatoes.
Oranje is an exemplary nation who, as a core member of EPIS, contributes 28% of our annual budget. Next to Sur la Clé, Oranje is probably the most... As founding members, they are both very EPIS. Oranje carries a lot of political weight, while Sur la Clé takes care of the business side of things. Sur la Clé hosts the headquarters of the major EPIS institutions. Oranje's economy is one of the most advanced in the world. It has successfully transitioned from heavy industry to advanced services and generally acts as an engine for sustainable change in the international community. About what? Oh, it's very urban and very well organized. Their streets are clean, their horse cars run on time, the people are polite and efficient. Like I said, they are an example for less emerged nations to follow. Whatever you wish, officer. Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more... that it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since. EPIS is a very special program developed by the Moral Intern to support certain Occidental nations. It began as a unified system of weights and measures.
God, yes. Sweet standardization. The backbone of rationality and...
It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union for the processing of steel. Another success. And between you and me, the Moral Intern feels emboldened by why it stands for progress and stability, like the Moral Intern. It's been such a wild, extraordinary success thus far. We are very excited to take it to the next level. A supranational political alliance, the United States of Occident. You mean Revachol? No, it's going to have transparent democracy. It's one day going to be a candidate member of EPIS, sure. No, candidate members do become members. Why do we even have the whole system in place if they don't? It just takes time. Time and evaluation. But we were talking about my friend here, not politics. How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulin's Peninsula? Oil platforms ablaze in the night, civil wars lasting for years. Finally, the international community is forced to step in. Au contraire, It's how millions of people end up where they are, meeting the people they meet. It's how I came here. Sorry, who? But I told you, officer, he's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization. Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes. He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him. I'm just enjoying the view. Listen.
A baby is crying in the neighboring apartment. Waves crashing in the distance. The sound of sea below the window.
No, listen. The Insulindian Bay. This place used to be a luxury accommodation before the revolution. Apartments, of course, were much bigger, but the million real view stays. You can't take that away. My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you've seen him around. He's a busy bee. I'm all ears, officer. A moment. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave. It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
Sure, go ahead. It's a beautiful space. Was there anything else? I'm sorry to say I did. Officer, it's very difficult.
He holds out his...
No. I was on the balcony when it happened. Getting some... That's when I understood. I went back inside.
Yes, back in...
Officer, the yard... Well, that's the Eventually, I'm afraid I don't... All I can say is my watch. Yes, no, I didn't see the corpse. Of course, anything I can do to assist the RCM. My friend... What? I'm all ears, of course.
It's getting cold, this late in the night. The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still, Across the room, the heating system hums its soft lullaby. The mattress feels soft and sheets warm. It only takes you moments for...
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around.
Recorded in you. Forever. On Faraday.
On and on it goes. For untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising. Rising. Above the dark curvature. The great wingspan of sleep.
Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time. The last time.
It's the world, Harry boy. And you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. You can never forget this shit.
All stuck on loop. Whirling, spitting out words and images.
You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
It's too late. You're not made of nothing anymore. You're something now, Harry. I tried to drown you in the black water, but you re-emerged. Kicking and screaming. Running.
For the working class. For the money, baby.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth.
He's got no idea what he's in for.
'Cause only love can break your heart. Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
Do it for the wind. Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Rise and shine, comrade. It's time to get to work. Despite all the thinking you've been doing, only 0.0001% of communism has been built. It's too great a task. Organization hasn't exactly been your strong suit, historically speaking. condition of your paperwork is irrelevant. All that matters is your commitment to building the World Republic. You must seek out your revolutionary brothers and sisters. Find out how much communism they've built. Then, together, maybe you'll be able to build as much as 0.0002% of communism. But it won't be easy. Decades of persecution by coalition authorities have driven the remaining communists of Martinaise underground. They live underground. These communists aren't men. They're mole people. Possibly. If you have been, it's only because you're a... Listen to this. Do you really think you're the kind of person an underground communist cell would entrust with a mission that requires such discretion? Regardless, what's past is past. You need to look forward to the work of building communism for all. Just between us, you may want to lay off this grind up the bourgeoisie stuff. It's a bit off-putting, even to fellow communists. They're not mole people. They're your comrades in the eternal class struggle. Let your nose guide you, detective. No, we meant your nose, as in that swollen muck detector in the center of your face. It just happens to be perfectly calibrated for sensing communists. We really have no idea what they're talking about. There's no linkage between ideology and olfaction. Failure. It's a smell you know all too well, simultaneously repulsive and yet darkly appealing. Musty with a sharp tang, but what you're smelling is your own body odor, of course. Nothing a shower and change. People sometimes complain there are no real communists left in Martinaise, but you can smell their presence. First, you'll have to locate the remaining communists in Martinaise. When you get near to someone with revolutionary potential, again, no, it won't. Any olfactory response you perceive will be strictly psychosomatic. You could also just look for more tangible evidence of communist activity. Images of Krasmazov and white antlers are usually a dead giveaway. You'll discuss the monumental world historical task that lies before you. You'll engage in rigorous and spirited debates about Mazovian theory and practice. But mostly, you'll probably complain about other communists. Not at all. Complaining about other communists is one of the most important parts of being a communist. Here we go. Wake, brave worker, 'tis no time for bed. Fight till there's no slaves below, and no masters o'erhead.